Alpha Wing has cleared the fighter bay.
The Bundu are here! All fighters, break off! We need to haul ass!
Our boarding party is getting cut up here, boss. Bloody huge Vasudans and their enormous guns. They've got some kind of power armor. Gaia, it's got a fucking sword!
I didn't sign up for this shit! We're getting out of here!
Marines, you must get through the airlock. We're reading an explosive device inside the dock.
In trouble.
Detonation detected. Marines, report your status.
Pilots, go to...
We have suffered major casualties. The explosion funneled several bombs and left multiple compartments undisturbed.
Retreat, retreat! This operation's gone to hell.
Those Gef bastards bit off a bit more than they could chew. I wonder what drove them to attack the Vasudans. Didn't we think they were working for the Tevs?
Pesedjet, this is Captain Sorensen of the United Earth Frigate Indus, 2nd Fleet Mars. We've received your distress signal and are here to provide assistance. What is your status?
You are speaking to Captain Apries of the Pesedjet. The Gef boarding party inflicted damage to our fuel processes. We have multiple cases of radiation exposure and flash burns. Our emergency response teams have been overwhelmed.
We've got a medical transport on 2-minute standby, Captain Apries. Our medics have been brought up to speed on Vasudan physiology. Permission to proceed?
Permission denied, Captain Sorensen. Under GTVA protocol, we cannot submit our vessel to your authority.
We're not asking for your surrender, Captain Apries. Federation policy is to offer support to all neutral vessels in distress. Our hands are open.
This is not a neutral vessel. Under the Deneb Convention, your government is designated a hostile power. As such, we have no choice but to respond to any attempted boardings with force.
Are the Vasudans rejecting our medical assistance? Are they insane?
Think about it this way, Levi. The Gefs are a lot like their hammer of light. Would you let a bunch of Vasudans board your ship after an attack by those nutjobs?
If we're falling back on technicalities, Captain, last I checked, our government was at war with the General Terran Assembly, not the Imperium. Consider this a token of friendship from a society that shares much in common with your own.
Your actions are honorable, Captain Sorensen, but I cannot help but doubt your intentions. We are quite aware of the role that your ship played in the capture of the GTL Agincourt.
I'm sure you'll see the difference between action against an enemy target and a mission of mercy, Pesedjet. Scan the Litman. You'll find no weapons on board.
Your medical ship appears to be what it seems, Captain Sorensen. Our situation leaves us little choice. Send the Litman, and only the Litman, to the port dock. I will have a Marine detachment meet your medical team at the airlock.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Indus War Gods, looks like we're privileged enough to witness the first contact between Earth and Vasudan forces in 50 years.
I'd do anything just to talk to one of them. I've read stories about their culture. Martin Manto said that Khonsu was closer to spiritual enlightenment than many of our elders.
Spiritually enlightened or not, their beams are going to be just as terrifying when they're aimed at our ships. Until they're helping us kick the Tevs out of our system, I'm not going to expect a damn thing from them.
Really, Captain? There's no curiosity down under all that Martian gruff? Permit me to quote the Intel database. A civilization of philosophers, artists, and scholars. You're not intrigued?
Once attended a lecture given by one of the Epsilon 4. He answered questions afterwards about what it was like being one of the only Vasudans left in Sol. Of course, they say the Vasudans were with the Fedayeen.
Captain Sorensen, we're picking up a jump point forming nearby. Hostile configuration.
New contacts. Orient.
Looks like the Tevs got the distress call too. All crew to battle stations. Fighter wings take up escort positions around the Indus and Lidman. Do not engage unless fired upon.
Weapons hold, Alpha and Beta wings. Do not fire until I say. Keep away from those Tev ships.
GTCV-R2 Zeto Federation vessels. The Pesedjet is under our protection. Stand down your vessels and leave, or we'll open fire.
This is Captain Sorensen of the United Earth Frigate Indus. Negative on your demands, Arethusa. We are engaged in a medical mission and will defend ourselves.
Damn Tev! Get off my tail! Indus control permission to open fire!
Don't make me laugh, Captain. Medical mission? This is clearly another attack of our logistics by a desperate military. Leave now, or suffer the consequences.
Captain Price, we can vouch for their actions thus far. The Indus and her fighters assisted in driving off an attack by the Gaian Effort. We are transmitting logs.
Acknowledge, Pesedjet. We believe some Gaian Effort cells may be working for the Federation's Black Ops unit. This is likely an attempt on your ship.
Their teams aboard my vessel are unarmed. They did not exhibit any suspicious behavior.
These records seem to check out, Captain Aprius. But we've got bigger problems. Your ship's hull integrity is dropping fast. We need to deploy teams to help contain internal fires and lock down damage. Captain Sorensen, unless you want to firefight aboard a dying ship, withdraw at once. Your rescue efforts are neither welcome nor needed. We will use force if necessary.
We don't have time for this, Captain. These Vasudans are in need of medical assistance. Unless you want to explain to the Emperor why his soldiers had to die, let us do our jobs.
Oh, Indus Control, I'm getting red lights on my board. Long-range communications are down.
Captain Sorensen, we don't have time for this posturing. The clock's ticking on the Pesedjet's reactor failure.
Captain Price, we're picking up massive jamming from your corvette. What is the meaning of this?
A little, insurance policy, Captain Sorensen. You want to do things your way? Fine. Help out the Vasudans, but no reinforcements.
GTT Samson, on approach to dock with the Pesedjet's ventral airlock. Federation forces, if you are armed, hold your fire.
In which case, Captain, I'm sure you won't object to us returning the favor. Comms, hit them with a wide-frequency blast. Jam their long-range communications.
This is Medic Team Alpha. We're experiencing massive internal detonations. The Vasudan engineers we're patching up say the internal safeties have failed.
Damn! We're scrambling repair equipment from the Indus, but it's gonna be several minutes until we can load a shuttle. Do the best you can with what you have.
We've got repair technicians with heavy field equipment on board the Samson. Standard procedure for answering a stricken vessel. You could learn from our example next time.
And your transport carries only the barest medical facilities, Captain. If your engineers save the ship, we'll save the crew. Once the Pesedjet is out of danger, we'll work from there.
Touché, Captain Sorensen. Here's my proposal. We stand down, and you do the same. We pool our resources, repair the Vasudan ship, and then we go our separate ways. The Vasudans continue to help us supply, while you gain favor with Khonsu for your surrender negotiations.
Indus, I'm reading a global weapons power down on the Arethusa and Tev fighters. They've disengaged and are pulling back.
What extraordinary times we live in. Very well, Captain Price. The welfare of the Pesedjet will take precedence for now. However, if you do anything to compromise the ceasefire, we will not hesitate to open fire.
Red and black ants building bowling alleys together from caterpillar teeth.
This is doing my head in. Sitting this close to Tez without shots firing?
This is Medic Team Alpha. Engineer crisis teams have managed to seal off compromised areas. Radiation levels are falling and we managed to secure most of the surviving crew. Good thing those techs came when they did.
Normally I'd be itching to open fire, but do you think this is how it's supposed to be? That maybe this is the first sane thing that's happened since the Tevs showed up?
Ever the romantic, Laporte. Frankly, this is absurd. Sooner or later, we'll be shooting at each other again. Let's just get it over with.
If you ask me, a little danger brings a certain buzz to first meetings. Has anyone ever told you how lovely you sound on the comm? Lieutenant Fabian Canati, at your service. 181st Bloodhound Squadron. GTD Carthage. Call sign Anansi. Goodness knows why.
Captain Lorna Sims, Indus War Gods. Now you'll know who I am when our little hug box breaks up and I kill you.
Only one side can win. Choose. It is the way of things. You must choose.
Sub-Lieutenant Noemi Laporte, Indus War Gods. Have a care with Captain Sims, Tev. You don't want her on the wrong side of the IFF spectrum.
So I've heard. Your squadron has Admiral Steele's attention, Sub-Lieutenant Laporte. You lot seem determined to win this war all by yourself.
It's always good to verify our strategic impact from a human source, Lieutenant Kerniati. How about some hard numbers? What's the bounty on my head?
Big enough to make me take notice, and my father's a shipping magnate. The catch is, of course, that no one survives to collect, or I'm sure I would have heard reports of your charms.
This is a bad line of work for an amateur Casanova, Lieutenant. When you get shot down out here, it's dangerously literal.
Medic Team Alpha here. Preliminary triage has been completed. We're moving the critically wounded onto the Littman for emergency care. I wish to state for the record that the conduct of the GTVA engineering teams has been more than exemplary.
Acknowledged, MT Alpha. Good work. Well, Captain Price, it seems thanks are in order.
Eyes up, pilots. New contact. It's the heavy frigate Hesperia.
Priority message to Captain Aldred. Tell him to cease fire immediately. The Arethusa is a non-combatant.
Scorpio Wing and Arethusa have gone weapons hot.
The Arethusa has opened fire.
So much for the ceasefire. All batteries return fire. Fighters form a defensive screen.
Mayday! Mayday! A Nazi is hit!
Pilots, evasive maneuvers. Watch the fire. It's close quarters at the moment.
The Arethusa is going down. That last volley got our magazines.
Surrender, you traitorous son of bitches! Hold your fire!
Hesperia, this is the Indus. The Arethusa was assisting our humanitarian mission for the Pesedjet. You've just destroyed a non-combatant under a ceasefire.
Ceasefire? Pardon me, Captain Sorensen, but I got no notice from command that such a ceasefire was in place. Admiral Calder deployed us to secure the area after we lost contact with you. The Arethusa was a hostile target and by definition a combatant.
Seems like the status quo has returned to this little patch of space, Laporte. How do you fancy the outcome of this humanize the enemy experiment?
I can't complain, one. We're still alive. But I can't help but wonder what would have happened if it had lasted a little longer. Still, I guess best intentions aren't enough to stop the fighting. It's too late for that. This war won't end until one side wins. I'd rather it be us.
Laporte, we'll make a Martian of you yet.
Accept the transmission. Tell no one.
Oh, what the hell?
Pilots, this mission is over. Bring yourselves in. Gamma Wing from the Hesperia will take over escort duty.
Okay, pilots. First, I want everyone to know that I'm proud of the way you handled yourselves out there today. All of you managed to hold the ceasefire long enough for the Pesedjet to receive assistance. What happened to the Arethusa afterward was regrettable considering the conduct of the Tevs throughout the operation, but this is a war. The crew of the Pesedjet are grateful for our assistance. We're in the process of interrogating Captain Apries regarding the Pesedjet's operations in the system. Latest word is that he's been cooperative and civil so far. You can expect to hear the results of that soon, but for now it looks like there's no danger of a Vasudan battle group coming to make life difficult for us. In fact, by saving the Pesedjet, we may have given ourselves the diplomatic edge we need to keep the Vasudans out of the war. What is worrying, however, is the increasing abilities of the Gaian Effort. The Pesedjet was ambushed at a navigational point that should have been secret and secure. Somehow the Gefs knew the Vasudans would be there, which suggests both abilities and motivations unknown to us. Intelligence is revisiting what we know about the terrorist group. We're not a police force, but you can expect Natraba to divert assets into combating this terrorist threat to secure our own freight assets. What I want to know is this. If the Gefs are working for the Tevs, and Laporte, you've seen Tev transports in Gef hands, why would they provoke the Vasudans? Have they gone rogue? Or just nuts?